And good evening, mmjhl fans. Apologies for leaving you there with no sound as you're watching the Zamboni make its way around the ice. This is mmjhl Game Day Playoff Edition for Game 1 here from Southdale Arena. And our coverage brought to you by Mid-Canada Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today, as well as checking out their website at midcanadafasteners.shop. We're brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. For more information, check out their website at terrico.ca. And to Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. For more information on how you can get in contact with the man himself, Gordy Tummelson, the next Winnipeg Jets 1.0 WHA goaltender. If you want to learn from him, be sure to check out Gordy Tummelson Goalies.ca. Playoffs, all of the matchups starting in on this Friday night as we take a look at our bracket right here. Starting off with the Elite Eight. All of these series will be best of 7 all the way from this round up until the finals. We got the defending champion St. James Junior Canucks taking on the Transcona Railer Express. St. James looking for a three-peat, a rematch of last year's semifinal matchup that went 7 between Charles Wood and St. Vital. Comes around early in the Elite Eight, which is the quarters. Pembina Valley takes on the Raiders Junior Hockey Club starting tonight in Morris. And of course for this game, the Riels taking on the Fort Garry Twins. As for all the rest of the action, it'll be one day off and then back at it again through the first 4 games. Then they'll have a bit of a break after that if these series do go beyond 4 games. This is the full playoff schedule. Be sure to check out all the details at mmjhl.ca for more information. But as for this series tonight, well, the St. Boniface Riels and Fort Garry Twins, even though this is the third place team in St. Boniface, is taking on the 6th-seeded Fort Garry Twins. Fort Garry only had one less win than St. Boniface. That's how tight the standings were this season. Riels won the first 2 games of the season series, and the Twins won the last 3 to win it 3-2. The Riels threw it back this season in terms of their record, finishing with their best record since 2014-15, that season when they ended up winning the championship. For Fort Garry, they're coming on to these playoffs hot. The second hottest team in the league at 7-3 in their last 10 games. And out of the teams who made deadline deals, they've paid dividends for these 2 teams. As you can see there for the Riels, Aaron Nielsen led this team in points with 40 in 44 games. For Ashton Haworth, came in and was a true difference maker with a shutout, a .919 save percentage, and a 7-5-3 record since joining the Riels post-trade deadline for the Twins. A huge deadline deal that they made to bring in a defenseman in Ethan Johnson. He's had 12 points in his 20 games played with this Twins team and has been able to play in all situations. And for Michael O'Sullivan, he'll most likely be getting the start tonight. 10-4, 3 shutouts, and a .903 save percentage with the Twins since joining. And funny enough, for O'Sullivan, he was lent from the Twins to the Riels until the end of the season when he'll be going back to the Riels. But yeah, going to be a very tight series, I think, coming up. Honestly, I think it's a coin flip in terms of who wins it. It's about who comes ready to play. In the season series, Fort Garry had just a bit more goals for at 23-20, of course. Check out the mmjhl.ca, their website, for more information. But we're just about to get started here for Round 1, Elite 8 hockey here from Southdale. So we'll have Game 1 for you coming up next. The start of it will conclude our pregame show here, everybody. I'm your host, Graham, the gshow Forsyth, of course. Going to be your play-by-play commentator for tonight's matchup. Enjoy, everybody. Game 1 of the Elite 8, the 2024 mmjhl playoffs, here live from Southdale between the visiting Fort Garry Twins and the home St. Boniface Riels. Enjoy the game, everybody. We'll get you at puck draw. Well, we're finally here. Playoffs has come before, we even knew they were coming, honestly. This season started back in October, late September, as preseason came to an end. And now we're here in March as the St. Boniface Riels back in the playoffs, the 8th seed last season, taking on the Fort Garry Twins as the 3rd seed. Fort Garry finishing as the 6th seed. But of course, only a few points behind the Riels. One of the tightest playoff races we've seen all season long has led to this game one between these two teams tonight. Zach Franco, bench boss for the Riels in his 2nd season. Scott Wong, bench boss for the Fort Garry Twins in his 1st season with the club, taking over for Pat Powers and company after last year. As right now, referees just putting the pegs in the netting, making sure the net is all right in the St. Boniface Riels side of things. As both teams, the Twins right now, Sloan Tremblay as well as someone else talking to the refs, the Riels skating around. These two teams just can't wait to get going, honestly. We can't wait to broadcast this one. Should be phenomenal. We hope you are doing well from wherever you are joining us here on this Friday night. Thank you for choosing G-Show Productions for mmjhl playoff game day coverage as we drop the puck. Draw one by the Twins as it's Ethan Johnson, number 15, not 13. It's Sloan Tremblay who wears that number. Loses the puck early on in his own end. That shot wide of the net and picked up by St. Boniface. Number 89 in Brzezinski, physical down low, but Johnson able to sustain and send a pass into the neutral ice where can't find a teammate, picked off by the Riels. And the Twins get it right back as they look to go up the other way. Sloan Tremblay loses the puck along the wall. Burknecht ends up rimming it around for Sam Alsip, who just sends this into the neutral zone as the Twins back in control of it. Number 29 for the Twins sends this puck up. It's Gilberto just before the blue line. Decides to send it in deep before going off for a change. And that's passed out right into the slot. Burczynski scores! Sorry, Dean Gorczynski, that is, for the Fort Garry Twins as they get this party started early on. And we mentioned it before we went live here. This Twins team, one of the hottest in the league coming in. Gonna be no easy test for the St. Boniface Riels, of course, the higher seed, but a bit of trouble in their own end. The Twins taking advantage of it. Nice pass over to number 7 in Dean Gorczynski, who worked his way up in the points race this season in the mmjhl, finishing close to top 5, and he's got the first goal of the playoffs here tonight in this series for St. Boniface, as they now lead this one, the Twins lead this one by a score of 1-0, and our goals for this first period brought to you by Make-Canada Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. So Sullivan covers the puck up. With 18:40 remaining, still early in this one. Dean Gorczynski, though, as mentioned, getting this Twin squad on the board early and just going off, along with the rest of his teammates and Darian Medwick. Draw will be won by the Riels as Connor Davis, team captain, sends it down low. That'll be played around by number 14 for the Twins. Puck along the boards closest to us. Our apologies if you can't see anything completely fully in this arena due to our setup. That shot turned aside from the point by O'Sullivan. And a big hit down below in the Twin zone. Riels trying to get possession of it, and they do, working this up the wall. D to D they try to go, but that one missing the stick of Keating. And along the boards, Fort Garry able to get out of the pressure. Keating right back in the neutral zone, sends a puck on net. She'll be stopped by O'Sullivan as the Riels go off for a change here. At this point, played off the boards and right onto the stick of Hira, who tries completing the pass up ice to number 20 in Davis for this Riels team. Puck still in the Twins zone. Trying to dangle there to the middle was a Riels player, but could not, and is picked up by the Twins in the neutral zone, but hits a skate, and it has to be played all the way back again. Capitalist giving chase for this Twins team, or for this Riels team, sorry. Riels forced the turnover, able to almost get some offense on net, but physical play as it's now Johnson leading the rush up for the Twins as he gets this on deep on Aiden Hyra. Puck off of the shin pad there of Noah Friesen, able to get into the neutral zone again. Bounces off of a linesman, and Ashton Haworth out to leave that puck for his teammate. So the Riels look to skate up the other way. Almost turning it over at their blue line, though. They turned it over just outside, and the Riels able to get this back down deep once again. Side of the net, it's Gilberto now working. Feeds it to Cienflone, wearing number 23. As for Garry, stays on the forecheck. Vitelli along the wall, flips this up into the neutral zone, into the way of McNaughton. So it's the Twins now struggling a bit in their own end. St. Boniface looking to pick up that loose puck. This is played along the half wall, working it to the middle now. That shot just wide of O'Sullivan. Trying to get it to the net again, not quite sure who that was for the Riels, but it's kept in at the line. Keating from the point, his shot can't get through. It's blocked, and Twins able to get it out as Cienflone. First one on the forecheck, but Smith able to play a pass past him. That cross-ice salsa pass almost had the Riels in danger, but they're able to survive it. Still controlling in their own end. Stretch pass up. No icing on the play, though, as this one goes all the way by and down low into the Twin zone again as they start the breakout. It's Johnson who kicked that out to Gorchinski, of course, looking to protect along the wall and drop, but has it picked off, and now it's the Riels coming down the other way. Trying to play a pass in the middle for Alsip, but that one couldn't get there. Turned over again into the Twins' possession, whereas Gorchinski just before the blue line sends it on net for Ashton Haworth, who plays it to a teammate. Bachnek gets this puck up to Stepik, who gets it up to Alsip through the neutral zone, who gains the zone now down that right side to the slot area, but shot contested on the one-timer there. I believe it was Hines, but Hines can't quite keep that in as Gorchinski coming down the other way, tries taking a shot from high up in the zone, but that one unable to get through. It's Trott, actually, who is out there, not Hines, as he gets this up. It's now Vitelli with possession of it along the wall as he now works this across. Sorry, that's Hines now, not the other Riels player that we just mentioned, along around the net. Couldn't quite get one on net from the side of the net. It's high up in the Twins zone now where they clear it out, and giving chase is Aiden Hyra, who will be slow enough for it to be icing, as with 14:11 here remaining. It is the Fort Garry Twins leading off of an early goal from Dean Gorchinski, his first of the playoffs here. A very impressive player for the Twins this season. So we take a look at some of the statistics from this year. I don't believe it was actually Gorchinski that didn't lead this team in points. It was him who led this team in points with 76 in 42 games. Sloan Tremblay, the team's leading goal scorer, at 29 goals, but 52 points in 43 games played. So apologies, folks, if we can't quite call the names right. I'm actually calling this game from down below at the Riels side of the ice, so yeah, it's going to be tough for me to see some names. As you've already seen or heard, I've screwed up some of the players who actually had the puck, called them by their wrong names, but hey, maybe I need a set of binoculars. Might have to invest in one for this series, as the draw is closest to my vantage point right now. It will be won by the Fort Garry Twins as they're able to keep it in for the time being, but Keaton is able to send this up, and here go the Riels with numbers. Brzezinski couldn't get it through, shot on net now, but turned aside there off the chance from McNaughton. Nathan Brzezinski had the initial chance coming down. So it's kept in by Keating. Number 88, Aaron Nielsen out there for the Riels. It's picked up in the Riel zone and sent onto the stick to Brzezinski, who sends that across to McNaughton. Driving in, tries making a dangle under the stick, but was shut down. And here come the Twins trying to go the other way. Sean Neufeld stopped up near the blue line. Sorry, that was number 3 in Eric Voth. Sean Neufeld was right beside him, goes off for a change. So the Riels have it in their possession, but a stretch pass up gets deflected from the neutral zone into the netting. So that'll stop the play with 12:45 remaining. As the Twins lead here in Game 1 of the Elite 8 round. Cienflo, number 23 for the Twins, on to take the draw against Nate Hines. So that's a player to watch in this series. Silky set of hands, able to control the play. Really good on the zone entries at just establishing the zone. As this is flipped up into the neutral zone. Sloan Trombley gets possession of it and just sends it down quickly. Left by Ashton Haworth. Leaves it for a teammate who ends up getting it to Connor Davis, who kind of fumbles the puck in his own end. Tried completing the pass to Hyra, but that missed. And the Twins able to work back down low again. Cienflo on the first forward check. Davis able to make a move by him. Gets it across to Hyra, who gets it into the neutral zone. And this one's sent in deep by number 8 in Slobosian. As the Twins first one on it, that shot from Davis. An easy save made by O'Sullivan from high up in the zone. We got another stoppage in play. Mick Fasteners and Tools, of course, the first period sponsor for tonight's matchup. So we get another draw inside of the Twin zone. Shots 3-2 in favor of the Riels right now. Sam Alsa about to take the draw for St. Boniface as he wins this to the point. As Bachnek plays that off the boards, trying to get a bounce. It ends up in the feet of some players around the net and is picked up by the Riels, who play this up. Shot deflected just wide of the net. Riels almost getting on the scoreboard for the first time with that one in these playoffs. But it's for Garry, who now controls it. Flipped over the stick of Hines onto Gorczynski's possession, but turned over. He couldn't handle it. Hines with a sneaky shot high up in the slot there. Turned aside by O'Sullivan and sent back in to the neutral zone as the Riels try to stretch this puck up. They do, but it gets deflected by the Twins down low into their own end again as they look to start the breakout up again. That pass up the middle seam intercepted by Vitelli, who settles it down, gets it back to a defenseman as now it goes D-to-D to Bachnek. Servain ends up going D-to-D again as number 18, his other partner, defensive partner, and Ethan Alsop had that disrupted on the way through as the Twins now control it in their own end. Smith couldn't quite get that deep enough as Fort Garry able to pickpocket at neutral ice. Gorczynski tries finding Ballshaw with the pass there, side of the net, but couldn't connect. Held in at the point, Ethan Johnson trying to dangle through, lost the puck. No one on it for the time being as it goes towards the St. Boniface Riels bench and finally played out into the neutral zone where Johnson takes a long shot, registering one on net there on Ashton Haworth. Keating, D-to-D to Smith. Oh, had a teammate right there who was calling for it wide open at the blue line, but decided to go D-to-D again. So maybe a bit of nerves at some points for St. Boniface. Not quite making the smartest plays here in this first period. But it's been mostly them who have had the puck on the other side of the red line, aside from a few chances that Fort Garry has had. Say that has been the Riels who have controlled most of the puck possession so far, but doesn't matter if you can't really do anything with it. As Fort Garry tries getting it out of their own end. This one deflects off of the leg, back of the leg of a Riel as we got another stoppage in play. With 9:40 remaining in this first period of action. It's 4-3 in shots in favor of the Riels. Tightly contested so far. They lead, or trail, 1-0. Tied up at the face-off circle just outside of the Twins zone. They got possession of it and sent it all the way down low. Gibson in on a hard check on Bachnet, who survived it, got a first pass up as this one goes up all the way to Brzezinski. The Riels now high slot. That shot, turned aside. Nice save by the blocker of O'Sullivan, as now for Garry tries to get it out of there. And St. Boniface looks to keep the cycle going, but they cannot for the time being. It's Bachnet who has the puck once again, though. Sends a pass to the middle for Brzezinski. Tries getting that back to the point, but that misses. Every single Riel goes back all the way into their end, where it'll be number 18 in Ethan Alsip, who sends this all the way to the blue line. Couldn't catch up to that one. Was Brzezinski. Twins pass the red line again, and just like they have all period long so far, dumping it down low. Matthews able to be the first one on it for the Twins, giving chase on Hines right now, who kind of forces him to make an errant pass, a backhand down all the way for an icing. And with that, the Twins will get a face-off in their own end. It'll be for Garry on the offensive zone draw. Cian Flown to take it. As Tremblay waiting at the top of the face-off circle, but could not win it. This goes all the way down for an icing, though, for the Riels, and their players have to remain out. Well, the Twins' same unit stays out to take the draw again. This time to the opposite side. Hines against Cian Flown. Face-off circle. Cian Flown, of course, starting off his season with the Charleswood Hawks before being traded. This time it's won by the Riels once again, as it's played across D to D, sent up into the neutral zone once again, and is picked up by Hines, who wheels in faking, keeping it outside, and that shot, a rip from Hines and tight on O'Sullivan, but he covered his angles. To get another face-off draw inside of the Twin zone now, as both of these teams go off for change. Sorry, actually, it's going to be just outside of the Twin zone, as that draw will be won by Fort Garry. Gorchinski pokes it back to a defenseman in his own end before the Twins go a D to D. Stretch pass up to the blue line for Gorchinski, who delays, waits, nice dangle, feeds middle, that shot, ball shot turned aside by Haworth. Rebound not given up by Haworth either, as Medwick shoving Keating after the play. And man, Gorchinski so far, every time he's had the puck on his stick, he's made things happen, whether that's with the goal or the passing. I mean, such a smart player. Silky set of hands and so calm with the puck. Doesn't really panic and has made nothing but the right play so far in this game from what we've seen as the Riels look to break out now into the Twin zone, but a delayed offside as Trott unable to hand that cleanly. So it'll be another face-off just outside of the Twin zone. Draw will be won again by that top line, or one of the top lines there for the Twins. Shot from Balshaw Glove down there by Riels goaltender Ashton Haworth. Of course, Haworth, one of the top goaltenders in the league last season, struggled with River East for most of the year. Didn't get most of the starts either. They were going to Manny Miniga Jr. Spoke about how much to me on a mmjhl podcast episode that the Royal Knights meant to him in his career, knowing that, I mean, he started his career off there when he was about 18 years old, 17 years old, and, I mean, emotions were high that day when he got traded, but knowing that he has a chance to come to a really good team, I think it really did appeal to a player in Ashton Haworth with his competitiveness, as well as that shot from the point, banks off of the backboards. Twins pick up the loose puck, but Riel's able to keep it in. Shot from the point will be turned aside by O'Sullivan. So we'll get another face-off inside of the Twin zone. Riels' offensive face-off draw coming up again. Nate Hines to take it. But yeah, as mentioned, Haworth has been really good with St. Boniface since joining, a .919 save percentage in his 10-plus games with the club. 12 starts with them as the Twins now looking to break in the other way. Number 24 in Caden Hedlund taking some physicality down low. Livingston also out there, but it's the Riels who get possession of it. They beat the icing down the other side as it's Davis picking the puck up first. Tried feeding that to the slot, but had it disrupted. Picked up again by the Twins as it's sent on for Gibson. Able to get to the puck first, but Riel was there just as quickly to disrupt things. And Smith, he has some time, goes cross ice into the neutral zone for Brzezinski, who goes to the middle. High slot, that across, but McNaughton couldn't find his man with that pass. As the Twins able to survive for now in their own end. O'Sullivan covering up again. So we get another face-off draw inside of the Twin zone. McNaughton out to take it. Almost threaded that pass across to a teammate. Has Aaron Nielsen at the top of that face-off circle, so watch for a one-timer potentially if he wins it. Brzezinski does not, as it's won by Cienflone. Very good in the draws here tonight so far, as he gets a feed in the middle seam of the ice in his zone and plays this, gets a pass through to Gilberto, who bobbles the puck, couldn't handle the bobbling puck on the way through, but that shot from the point almost tipped on by Gilberto. What a chance from him there. Also lays some physicality just outside the zone as the Riels now able to break out. Sending a pass across for Smith upon entry, but stood up by for Garry Twin. That's Ethan Johnson. Talked so much about him in the pregame show as Brzezinski, upon entry, takes a shot on net, which gets turned aside by O'Sullivan, out of play. But yeah, I mean, I feel like it's been for the St. Boniface Riels where they've had most of the puck possession, but I mean, the Twins doing a really good job of standing their ground high up in their own zone, able to get pucks past the Riels defense, bobbling pucks at that to beat them to those puck races, as we just saw there with Gilberto moments ago. If he weren't to bobble that puck as it was contested on the way through, maybe he gets a clean shot on net, and who knows, we could be looking at 2-0 here. With 5:13 now remaining. Puck out in front. That one almost dangerous for Fort Garry, but able to survive as now it's Caden Hedlund trying to beat his man with speed down that side. And Ethan Alsip fed it to the middle for Medwick, but couldn't get it there as the Riels take this offside. With 4:58 remaining in this first period, brought to you by Make Cannon Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Check out their website as well as their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. Their website at MakeCannonFasteners.shop. Thank you to them for supporting Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League hockey here on gshow.ca. Draw one to Hyra, but off the boards, unable to handle it cleanly at first. Gets it back. Faked like he was going up for a stretch pass before feeding it. D to number 7, Nathan Slobosian. But it's the Twins on and again in their own end. This time having it intercepted. That shot deflected on the way past. Couldn't get on that. Slobosian, number 8, that is, in Brandon. Got that to the net, and O'Sullivan has to cover it up again. Shots 8-5, by the way, for the Riels. But of course, still trailing in this one. Courtesy of that goal from Dean Gorchinski. But if the Riels keep pushing here, they could be tied in no time as they keep it in, going D to D. This time, it's number 3 in Eric Voth who bats it out into his own bench for the Twins. So we'll get a face-off inside of their own end now, since that was uncontested on the way out. Out to take the draw for the Riels to the blocker hand side of O'Sullivan, Sam Alsip, as he wins that draw towards the boards, but not cleanly enough as the Twins able to get it back into their possession, rim it around in their own end, but having a bit of trouble with it. Coming back in their own end to delay a bit before sending it out, and they do just that, but it's into the St. Boniface Riels possession again. Nice nifty pass up to number 14 and Stepik, who ends up losing it. Battle along the Twins bench now as this gets sent down low. Pass out in front of O'Sullivan at the side of the net, though, able to cover this up quickly. So we get yet another stoppage. I would honestly bet there's been at least like 7 face-off draws inside of the Twins zone this period. Zach Franco has to like what he's seen from his group so far. Of course, would like to see some of the puck management being a bit better, but of course this is game 1 of the playoffs. Could be a bit of nerves in some aspects, but at the same time, I mean, just been some of the little mistakes for the Riels, and this could be one of them. The Twins trying to race down to that puck. It's Tremblay, chipped it out of the zone. It gets rimmed around, and Fort Garry looking to get on the forecheck now. They cannot, as it gets sent out of the zone. And all the way down below the Twins net now. Turned over now high up in the Twins zone. Kept in by the Riels. That shot wide on the way through as the Riels get to it first. Playing it down low, but it'll be Caden Hedlund there first for the Twins as they look to break it out. Cienflone able to thread a pass up to Gilberto, but unable to hold it cleanly at the line, or cradle it cleanly, that is. It's the Riels looking to take it up the other way. It's Nielsen tried dangling and could not. Losing his balance on the play as well. Could have argued maybe it was a trip, but at the same time, playoff hockey, refs letting it go. We got another face-off inside of the Riels zone. Sorry, the Twin zone, that is. As dangling, trying to Cienflone, got to the puck finally, but unable to do much with it afterwards. As this is flipped up into the neutral zone, Gorchinski played off of his skates. Twins with it in their own end as they look to break up, and they do. Johnson tried catching that pass from Gorchinski upon entry, but could not. 2 minutes, 30 seconds remaining now as this one ends up all the way down into the Twin zone. High stick, though, on the play, or maybe a delayed offside. Not quite sure what, but we see a face-off finally into the Riels zone here. 2:25 remaining. Nate Hines on to take the draw against Darian Medwick. Rouse Balshaw at the top of that face-off circle. Couldn't win it to him, but Gorchinski along with Medwick out there down low. It's Gorchinski now taking it along the side of the net. Looked like he was holding on to feed Balshaw, but had it stripped. So it's now the Riels looking to get it past the red line and into the Twin zone, but the Twins stand then up at the red line. Gorchinski tries taking the pass from behind, could not. There from Balshaw, gets this into the slot for Medwick now. Draw pass to Gorchinski, sends that across now. Shot from the point, wide from the stick of number 21, but Johnson able to keep it in. Finds Gorchinski, who turns it over. Davis loses his balance, though. Looked like he potentially could have been gone splitting those D, but a chance missed there. Maybe have to get your skate sharpened there, Mr. Davis. But Gorchinski unloads a shot there from high up in the zone. So we got a face-off now with 1:36 remaining in the opening frame. Cienflone wins the draw, but it'll be pickpocketed there by Trott as he intercepted it off of the draw. Fort Garry able to get back, though, and make it tough for the Riels to break in cleanly. Shot from the side of the net. Couldn't go. That shot from the point couldn't go either as it's wide, but held in by Keating, the opposite point. Down low for Stepik, who tried playing that out in front, but defended well by Fort Garry. As now it's played up to Cienflone, who tries threading that pass towards the blue line, and Tremblay picked off, and now here's Smith with a shot, who has that blocked up as we're into the final minute of play here in the opening 20 minutes of this one. The Riels potentially looking for that equalizing goal here late before Garry looking to hold on and potentially make it more, as Cianflone having a very successful period for himself. Ferocious on that forecheck, or feisty that is. It gets all the way past though. McNaughton, his shot from that right side of O'Sullivan turned aside by him. Riels try working this to the slot area. Can't though, as the send all the way down into the Riels zone. No icing will be on the play, as it's Gibson forcing the turnover down low, pickpocketed. The Riels defenseman turned aside by Haworth at the side of the net, as one more chance potentially for the Riels the other way. Dangling through, that shot turned aside by O'Sullivan. Big one there on whoever that Riels player was from the side of the net, maybe from the point now, but that gets deflected high and wide of the net into the netting. As, wow, what a first period we had here, ladies and gentlemen. You know, both teams at points were playing some catch with each other, couldn't fully establish the zone for good periods of time. I'd say the team who did it the best in terms of establishing good periods of offensive zone time were the Riels. Way more opportunities like that compared to the Twins. But, man, when the Twins are able to counter and get on their counterattack, get on their horse, we've seen how dangerous they've been. Dean Gorchinski, you do not have to give him many chances with the puck. You don't want to be giving this guy space either, as he can do so much with it. We've seen the patience tonight, the quick shot ability, as well as the passing ability. Look for him to continue to be a good player for the Twins. And yeah, I mean, Cianflone, he's been really solid for them as well. On the forecheck in the face-off circle, and also feeding number 7 in Gorchinski for that opening goal, getting the primary assist. O'Sullivan's been great so far. He's made some really good saves. The Riels, I think, will look to be a bit smoother on their transition, and of course look to get some more traffic in front, get that first one, and you're right back to a tie in this one. But the Twins looking to extend their lead to 2 coming up in the next 20 minutes. For Garry looking to extend their lead to 2, of course. St. Boniface looking to tie things up. We'll be back here soon. You'll see our sponsor screen here that will be up for about 5 or 6 minutes. This first period was brought to you by Make-Hand Fasteners and Tools, your one-stop shop for all your industrial needs. Be sure to visit their store locations in Brandon and Winnipeg today. Make-Hand-Fasteners.shop is also where you can find them on their website. Thank you to them for sponsoring the first period and for supporting mmjhl hockey here on the network. Twins up 1-0 over the Riels here in Game 1 of the Elite 8 in the 2024 mmjhl playoffs. Period 2 coming up next. And welcome back, everybody, into Southdale Community Center. As after the first period, although the Riels outshot and honestly outplayed the Twins, outshooting them 10-6, they still trail in this one by a score of 1-0 after the first 20 minutes. The first goal of the playoffs for the Twins, of course, scored by Dean Gorczynski, number 7, assisted by Cianflone, getting the primary assist. And as we look at it, 1-0 for the Twins as they lead. We'll bring it to our playoff bracket here. Of course, all of these first-round series, best of sevens, and all of them starting tonight. A few of them just got underway at 8 p.m., but we'll take you through the scores so far. Rory Neal scored the first goal for the St. James Junior Canucks, up 1-0. As the second period is just about to be started at Abe McDonald Arena. The Raiders Junior Hockey Club and Pembina Valley Twisters, that game just got underway. Scoreless with 14:51 remaining in the first period of action. And for the St. Vital Junior Victorias and the Charleswood Hawks, it was Rylan Hugin getting the Hawks on the board 4 minutes into the game with 16:53 remaining in the first of that one. And Eric Coy for game one between the Hawks and the Vics. Charleswood leading that currently by a score of 1-0, courtesy of Rylan Hugin. As for, the rest of the first round action, this is the full schedule here. Be sure to check out all the details at mmjhl.ca. St. Boniface is going to be in Century Arena on Sunday night at 6:30 p.m. And as for this game, so far Fort Garry hasn't had as many chances as this St. Boniface Riels team has had, but they've been dangerous on them, and the most dangerous player in this game so far, honestly, has been Dean Gorczynski for the for the Fort Garry Twins. As both teams, the Riels make their way onto the ice right now. Fort Garry will be following shortly. Of course, this second period of action will be brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers in the agricultural industry for over 80 years. Be sure to check out their website and find out why they're so trusted at terrico.ca. They got locations around the province here in terms of where they operate. So, been around for a while. And thank you to them for sponsoring G-Show Productions and Manitoba Major Junior Hockey League hockey here on the network. As Michael O'Sullivan, we'll have a chance to get a better look at him during this period. As both teams switching sides, the Twins will be going from left to attacking right. From a broadcast standpoint, the Riels this period flying from right to attacking left. Cianflone out to take the draw for the Twins, and he loses that one as we're underway here. Lost it to McNaughton, as now it is the Riels with possession first. They send this all the way down deep as O'Sullivan comes out of his net. Plays that over to Johnson, who had some trouble with it. Hemmed in right now are the Twins. Side of the net, it's McNaughton. Plays that up to the point to Keaton. His shot through, turned aside there by O'Sullivan. Puck try getting to the slot area there off of a St. Boniface Riels pass, but out of the zone as the Twins now. Garry sending one across to Johnson. Plays that to the middle for Cianflone, who gets that up into the higher part of the neutral zone by the Riels blue line, but has it turned aside. The Twins trying to get into the zone, establish something, but it'll be picked off by the Riels. It's Brzezinski now running out of room along the boards. Also out there with Aaron Nielsen. This will be pickpocketed now by Brzezinski, who just unable to lose possession of it out in front. And that one, almost a chance there for the Riels. Keaton tries going across, but can't find McNaughton. What a start from the Riels here in this period. Statement that, hey, we're going to keep coming at you. Even though we're down in this one by 1-0. This pass into the neutral ice unable to be cradled in by Nate Hines as he remains out there. It's played up that left side to Davis, who gets rubbed out along boards by Dean Gorchinski, who gets a pass across at the blue line. Gorchinski now dangling past, gets disrupted with the stick. I believe Ethan Alsop. Alsop still working with Gorchinski, gets that below the net to a teammate who can't get that out successfully up high into the Twins zone for a pass. This will be picked off now by Davis. His shot blocked. Huge one there by Livingstone. As for Garry, able to be in the right place at the right time to block that one was Livingstone, but he's unable to check past. Oh, that one out in front to number 22 in Davis. Unable to connect on net for a shot. We're still 1-0 for Fort Garry in this game. The scoreboard up right now. That pass from Buckneck could not hit. Gorchinski headmans this up into the middle for Caden Hedlund. As it'll be Ashton Haworth getting the face-off inside of his own end. Draw will be to the blocker hand side of Haworth. One by the Riels is played across to Hyra below the goal line for now. This gets played off of the glass and all the way down into the Fort Garry zone. Well, Caligari will be the first one on it. No icing on the play. Fort Garry able to start transition up. Neufeld just past the red line. Sends this in deep, so no icing on the play. Riel's first one on it. And able to get it out now as this pass up towards the Fort Garry blue line. Unable to hit that Riel's player, which was number 10 in Sam Alsop. This one turned over now inside of the Riel zone, where it'll be Neufeld tries getting a pass back to the point for his defenseman in number 4, Cockle, who goes for a skate just past the red line now, sends it in deep. It'll be Gibson out there along with Neufeld giving chase on the forecheck. And St. Boniface able to get it out now. Played into the middle, into the direction of Trott, who loses the puck battle at the blue line, and here come the Twins now. 3-on-1 opportunity, side of the net. Oh, what a beautiful save by Ashton Haworth to come across, keeping the deficit to only 1 as now he covers it up. And a big reason why St. Boniface traded for a player in Ashton Haworth. Not only one of the top goaltenders in the league last season, but a player who can make highlight reel saves like that. I mean, St. Boniface outnumbered by Fort Garry 3-1 there. They tried to manufacture a nice passing play to move Haworth as much as they can. Could not fool him completely as he gets across to make his biggest save of the night so far. And could that be a turning point in this period? As trying to dangle in there is Brzezinski, but he'll get stood up by Ethan Johnson as him and Brzezinski getting tied up with each other below the blue line. It's Aaron Nielsen now who gets it back to the point. That shot through, turned aside by the blocker of O'Sullivan, though. McNaughton gets it back up to the point. Trying to get this back down low to Aaron Nielsen was number 94 in Keating, but this puck goes out of play. And with that, as both goaltenders take a moment to breathe, this second period brought to you by Terrico. Serving Manitoba producers, of course, in the agricultural industry for over 80 years here in Manitoba. As this draw, won by the Riels, but chipped out. Getting to it first was Gilberto, but the puck not wanting to cooperate with him as it's Hines now. Down below, loses the puck along the wall in the twin zone. It's played up. Cianflum gets blown up at the red line. Not sure if we caught that on camera. I believe we did. As the Riels look to transition up the other way now. Shot from high up, rebound given up all the way to the point there from O'Sullivan as the Riels stay on the pressure. Getting that below the goal line to Hines. Plays that out in front. Loose puck covered up by O'Sullivan. It's a swarm of Twins come to defend their goaltender. Nothing really comes out of it. And yeah, I think we just saw one of our, probably the biggest hit of the game so far by Cianflone. I couldn't quite catch who hit him, but yeah, he got rocked at the red line. Able to, sustain it though, withstand it. As this played into the slot now. Trying to connect was Nielsen to Brzezinski, but turned over. Covered up well by the Twins, and just past the red line, they got that and played off of the glass to Balshaw from himself. This gets played out in front of the net. Now Gorchinski right there, his shot turned aside by Haworth. Another huge save for number 31. As now this will be pickpocketed. It's Nielsen, has a man with him, plays that to Brzezinski, but was covered up. Defended well by the Twins. Nothing out of that pass, that opportunity, but turned over now into the Riels' possession in the Twins zone. Still sauced into the slot, but Nielsen still unable to connect with teammate he desired to in Brzezinski. McNaughton now out there for the Riels. Still Nielsen in for support. Tied up is McNaughton by Johnson. Puck played out to the point, but pickpocketed was that defenseman Ira by Gorchinski. Has Balshaw with the mid shot, turned aside, rebound. Oh, that one not cleanly on net. Off of that rebound chance from Gorchinski, I believe Haworth got a piece of it again, and oh my goodness, it's been 3 huge saves here from Haworth. And back and forth chances. Both of these teams blundering, giving up odd man chances on net on their goaltender. As now, here we go. The Riels able to get it out just out their blue line, but Livingstone able to get back to it quick enough. Or Hedlund, that is. My apologies. Caden Hedlund wearing number 24 for this Fort Garry Twins team. This gets played to the direction of Capeless. Couldn't find the puck. Now Medwick with the shot that ends up whistling high over the net. And it'll be turned over into the best possession of Neufeld now, who sends that down low for Gorchinski. Looking for a trip there where the Twins, but couldn't get it, didn't get it. And now the Riels able to get it out. Giving chase is number 12 in Capeless. Couldn't get it to it, though, as it'll be Voth upon entry, getting a shot wide of the net. That shot now blocked from Gibson by a Riels player. So we'll get a stop and play with 12-13 remaining, 15-12 the shots in favor of St. Boniface. But it's the Twins who still lead it. And also generating some better chances for themselves, some more sustained offensive zone pressure than they've had in that previous period, being the first. But it'll be the Riels looking to stretch that pass up to the blue line to Trott, but couldn't find him. Just past the blue line. Trott now able to muster his way up to the middle now by the blue line. Gets that to the net in the direction for one of his teammates and Sam Alsip, but Fort Garry once again able to survive and get this puck out of the zone. This puck gets sent on net, covered up by O'Sullivan. Apologies, folks, by the way, for some of our lag that you might have just seen there. Internet connection good for the most part in this arena, though, so can't really complain about that. Thank you to the Riels and to Southdale CC for allowing us to stream in this arena here tonight. Much appreciated. Trott, his shot gets turned aside into the high glass by O'Sullivan. Twins still trying to get out of their own end, rimming it around. It'll be held in at the point by Keating. Onto the stick now of Trott. His shot ends up wide, deflected off of something now. Sam Alsip tried getting that into the low slot area, but once again, Riels unable to connect there. It's Cianflone who gets, once again, plastered into the boards down below in his own end this time. Could this be a player that the Riels may be targeting in this series? We'll have to wait and find out. Sloan Tremblay tried getting that towards the net for Gilberto. Pass couldn't get there, though, as it's now played up along the left side into the neutral zone. Is chipped all the way down by the Riels, given chase. O'Sullivan fooling Nate Hines, going the other direction with the puck. He started his team's transition. Now that puck ends up into the crease of Ashton Haworth, who guides it into the corner, redirecting it there. Passed up to the blue line, connecting now. The Riels trying to establish the zone. Playing it to the middle, though, again, where the Twins have that area covered up. Able to flip it into the neutral zone again, and now looking to create a chance going the other way. It's the first one on it. Played it to the slot, but having that intercepted. Once again, and now Davis lays a big hit there on number 16 in Matthews for the Twins, as it's the Riels breaking up other way. Trying to dangle through there was number 4 in Smith. Gets it towards the net now, but has it intercepted. Smith now at the point. Sends it down low for Davis, who tried to redirect that pass shortly to one of his line mates. Davis picks up the loose puck again below the net. Plays it off the boards up to the point to Keaton, who gets that shot on net deflected wide by the other Davis, number 23, as the Twins try to get it out, but still can. Keating hard at the line, ends up hitting a weird spot along the glass down below if you weren't able to see it there, and allows for the Twins to have this in their favor as Friesen played that up to Matthews, but Twins couldn't do much with it as it's Hines now high up from that opposite point. Opposite point now to Keating as O'Sullivan turns it aside. With 9 minutes and 11 seconds remaining now in the second period of action, it's still the Twins up by a score of 1-0. So this draw will be won by them as well. Medwick out there with Balshaw and Gorchinski, as Medwick able to bring this up along the right side. Plays it down low into that same corner at right side, but it'll be the Riels now looking to play that to the net. It gets there, scores! Well, by the looks of it, knowing the goal scorer lost his stick, it is Bachnecht who gets on the board for the Riels for the first time in these playoffs. And the Riels able to get out of their zone, up that left side for themselves. They established it, and they've been trying to feed that puck to the low slot all game long. It hasn't worked out up until that point, going hard to the net. An ugly goal to start the playoffs for the Riels, but hey, that's what playoffs are all about, those garbage goals, right? And with that, a physical hit by Davis, as momentum could suddenly start to truly be shifting here. We'll have to see what the Twins can do to respond. That goal brought to you by Terrico, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. It's carried by Hines just before the blue line, sends it in deep. Dylan Bachnecht, his first goal of this 2024 postseason, a huge one. Nathan Brzezinski was the one who got the pass over to him. McNaughton also with a secondary assist on that play, as it's flipped into the neutral zone. The Riels couldn't complete the pass near the blue line. Slobosian was intended for him. All the way down now into the Riels zone for an icing. We'll get a face-off all the way back down low. That face-off circle furthest from our broadcast angle in the Twin zone. Tie game now after Fort Garry opened the scoring within the first 2 minutes of this one in the first. Neufeld kick out of the draw. Gibson on to take it. Won by the Riels. Brzezinski couldn't get a shot on net. Stripped away by Gibson, who dangles past number 94 in Keating. Able to get that to Caligari at the point. Turned aside into the corner by Ashton Haworth. Picked up by Riel now in Brzezinski, who struggled with it a bit before carrying it into the zone. Dropped it for a teammate. Now back to Brzezinski. His shot turned aside by O'Sullivan. Oh, so close to making this a 2-1 game. Brzezinski back on it, though. Sullivan had to be sharp on that one. Will probably have to be again here at the point. Tipped this time wide of the net. Nielsen on it down below. Gets it up to the point for a teammate. Across to Keating. He waits. Shot through traffic, but couldn't register on net. Caligari being attacked by Nielsen down low. Able to get that to an outlet man, and it gets sent all the way out into the Riel zone. Trying to get a shot on net there was a Twins player, but contested well by a Riel. And now here's a break for the Riels. Other side, that shot saved, made by O'Sullivan. High stick, Brzezinski now, shot tipped just wide of the net there by Nielsen. The Riels buzzing once again, but it'll be Gilberto just before the blue line. Gets a pass over to Tremblay, somehow staying on side. Leo Livingstone now sending it in deep as he sees his teammates go off for a change. He remains on the ice, however. This puck sent across, hits the white plumbing up top, though, and that means we'll get another stop in play. 6:03 remaining in this second period. It's great to see all the fans out here to support their local junior hockey team here tonight, as well as any parents that are out here. Gonna be wild to see how huge the crowds actually get. This is only game one of these playoffs, so expect for in all of these series as they go along for the house to be absolutely packed. St. Vital posted a Throwback Thursday video of their Game 7 last year against this Fort Garry Twins team in one of the wildest playoff games that I've ever had a chance to watch. I was actually there in person, and let me tell you, that place was packed, and that was Game 7. So, yeah. Honestly, I expect for this series to be tight all the way down. And so far, the scoreboard has been like that. 1-1, these two teams tied. Dylan Bachnet getting his team on the board for the first time. Hines finds that loose puck off the draw, turned aside by O'Sullivan, though we remain tied 1-1, sent into a corner closest to our broadcast angle in the Riel zone. They work this up into the neutral zone now. Hines establishing, looking to drive it to the net, but good defense from Hedlund. Livingstone gives him a check afterwards, and this puck will be picked up. That shot just ends up not getting through. Hines tried to feed it across to a pinching Ethan Alsip. Ethan Alsip tried getting that down low, could not, as it'll be Medwick receiving a pass from Balshaw. Drops it to Balshaw. His shot through, tipped in wide of the net. It's the Riels now with a chance. Sam Alsip now at the blue line. His shot turned aside right into the 5-hole of O'Sullivan. With 5 minutes now remaining on the clock in the second period. Man, he's been huge so far, and yeah, if we even take it back to our season series graphic to show you the stats, O'Sullivan 10-4, 3 shutouts, and a .903 save percentage since joining this Fort Garry Twins team. He's made the saves he's needed to when it's mattered the most in this season, and doing much more than that tonight. Maybe not as spectacular in terms of how Haworth has been sprawling to make some of the saves, but yeah, some tough saves off tough shots made by O'Sullivan tonight. Loose puck picked up. Schraw tried getting it on net, got blocked. Loose puck again. Almost had another opportunity leading to that for the Riels in the Twins zone, but the puck back into the neutral zone. It's Neufeld trying to dangle past, and he does, getting past a Riels defender now. Gets that to the slot, but no one was there for it. It was covered up well by the Riels as they send this in deep. Tipped on the way past, so no icing on the play. And this one will be turned over near the point, at the point now. That shot through traffic. O'Sullivan somehow finding that one off of Slobosian's shot. With 4:08 remaining now in the second frame. Shots 26-13 in favor of the Riels. So it'll be won by the Riels. That shot couldn't get through again. Nice block again by Fort Garry. So it's played into the skates of Keating before he brings it back into his own end. Keating receives a pass off of the backboard, springs a man up the middle. That gets played off the boards closest to us, to number 88 and Aaron Nielsen, who sends this down low. Nielsen in for support along with Berzinski, working along the boards against Johnson and Gilberto. The Riels win it. Opposite point now, shot through, battling in front. Number 88 in Nielsen, taking Sullivan down to the ice with him in the process. No call on the play. We'll get another stoppage in play with 3:33. Nielsen slow to get to the ice, but he's back up. As both teams getting a fresh set of legs on. Medwick, Gorchinski, and Balshaw, which honestly has been the top line tonight for the Twins, as Medwick wins it. It'll be played up the boards, opposite side, closest to the Riels bench, to Gorchinski as he skates it up. Cross-ice pass into the skates of Medwick, who tried playing that down low past to Riel. And now it's Connor Davis coming in alone on O'Sullivan. Shot scores! Wasn't a shot, sorry, it was a beautiful dangle. Connor Davis, we've seen the speed from him this season. When we broadcasted the Riels back in late 2023, he showcases it again. Shot out of a cannon, it seemed like, from his own end. Able to get behind the rest of the Fort Garry Twins. Had only Sullivan to beat. And freezes him with a shot, goes to the backhand and puts it upstairs. Absolutely fired up afterwards as well. And with that, the Riels finally getting their first lead of these playoffs, of this Elite Eight series. As that goal brought to you by Terraco, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Be sure to check out their website at terraco.ca for more information. Rimmed around, and Nielsen picks it off. Cockle rubs him out along the boards. McNaughton down below, looking to protect along the boards against Hedlund. So it'll be Brzezinski. Gets this loose puck up to the point. It goes across. That shot wide of the net now from Aiden Hyra. Riel's looking for a 2-goal lead here to end the period. That time it's going to be a call here. A penalty coming to the Fort Garry Twins for a charge. Nielsen ends up drawing it, and with that we go to, man, I believe maybe our first power play of the game, actually. Could be wrong on that. We'll confirm that before the start of next period, but yeah, we'll get a chance to see this Riels power play for the first time in these playoffs in this period. And the first time we've seen Fort Garry on the penalty kill as well, as Gorchinski wins the draw. Fort Garry looking to get it out. They do. In our special teams for this period, brought to you by Terraco, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. We'll see if the Riels can serve the Twins a 2-goal deficit after this, or if maybe the Twins end up getting a goal short-handed. Wait to see how this one plays out, as Tremblay just gets this down low. Riels taking it behind their own net. It'll be a draw pass left into the skates. That one couldn't find it. And it's on to the stick possession of Gorchinski, who could not get that across, but gets back onto the puck, sends one across to Sloan Tremblay. As Tremblay gets that into the opposite corner now. Twins, a penalty to Matthews. Almost a minute expired on it. Huge hit upon entry there on Bachnecht from number 15 and Ethan Johnson. Last minute of play now in this second period of action. The Riels have not been able to establish any zone time on the power play so far, as once again Gorchinski gets it all the way down as Haworth able to come out and leave that for a teammate. Now this one will be dropped to Aaron Nielsen. 32 seconds remaining. Nielsen splits through the D. Nielsen loads up. Now rebound there, but no Riel there fast enough. Nice rush and attack there, though, by Aaron Nielsen as he looks to scoop that puck away from the boards closest to us. Sent all the way down, though, with 9 seconds remaining in the period now. Into the final 10 seconds for Garry. Gets it down deep on net for Haworth as he left that for a teammate. And with that, it's the Fort Garry Twins who now trail heading into the next period. They led 1-0 after the first 20, but after this most recent 20 was huge goals from the Riels, finally breaking through on O'Sullivan with the first one. Going hard to the net to put it in was Dylan Bachnecht, and then given a heck of an effort was Captain Riel himself, number 96 in Connor Davis, getting behind every single Fort Garry Twin, having only him and, well, only Sullivan to beat froze him with an initial shot before freezing him and going top shelf on the backhand shots. 29-14 in favor of the Riels in that period. Once again, they controlled most of the play. There were a few more instances where Fort Garry was generating some good offensive zone time. They'll need a bit more of that in this next period. Ashton Haworth made some huge saves on those best offensive chances that Fort Garry had, which honestly I felt was kind of the turning point, one of the turning points, I guess, in that period, along with that first goal that the Riels got. But yeah, I mean, this power play for the Riels to start off, not so good. It's almost over. 1:57 seconds gone and only about one shot on net. So yeah, they won't really have any time to establish any zone time, any good momentum with only 3 seconds left on the Matthews penalty. But that's huge for Fort Garry at the same time. You know, not giving St. Boniface any extra momentum heading into the period. And in fact, maybe you shift momentum, you start to your way a bit with the energy you've had on the kill so far, with the success you've had on the kill so far, and the only penalty of the game taken. So we're going to throw it to our sponsorship graphic. This second period was brought to you by, of course, Terraco, serving Manitoba producers for over 80 years in the agricultural industry. Check out their website at gshow.ca for more information. Coming up next, the conclusion of regulation. St. Boniface up 2-1, heading into period 3 of Game 1 in the Elite 8 quarterfinal series. And welcome back in, ladies and gentlemen, to the final period of regulation here. About to get it started between the St. Boniface Riels, the third seed for this year's mmjhl playoffs, taking on the sixth seeded Fort Garry Twins, and the score after two periods, 2-1 in favor of St. Boniface. Dylan Bachneck would tie the game up in that second period, about over halfway through. Got the exact times actually for you all here. Bachneck's goal coming at the 11-11 mark into the period. Connor Davis would also score to put this team ahead, this Riels team, 2-1 off of a beautiful backhand deke going upstairs. And opening up, Michael O'Sullivan to give St. Boniface the advantage in game one heading into the final 20 minutes. It's all about the finish now for this Riels team. And hey, keep playing the way you're playing, honestly. There is some stuff they'd like to clean up, sure. I think in terms of, connecting on some of their passes better, but seems like, after that goal that they scored to tie things up, as well as some huge saves made by Ashton Haworth in that period, that things started to truly swing in the other direction for this Riels team. They were the better team throughout that first period. Just made a few mistakes that ended up costing them. Shored up most of those in that second period of action. And getting ready for a big third here coming up as we take a look at the rest of the series here in the mmjhl playoffs. All series, of course, kicking off tonight. The St. James Junior Canucks were up 1-0 only last time we checked in on them. A 3-goal period in the second. Transcona also getting on the board there, but has St. James up 4-1. For the Pembina Valley Twisters, they are up 1-0 after the first period of play. 15:53 remaining against the Raiders in that second period at the Morris Multiplex. And for the Charleswood Hawks, they had a 2-goal second period so far. They've scored 2 goals within the first 3 minutes. 17:56 remaining in the second period of that one. Ben Zander scoring twice, Huging scoring the opening goal. And of course in this one, with the shots 29-14 in favor of St. Boniface, Gorchinski, as well as Bachneck and Davis, the goal scorers in this one so far. It was a 1-0 first period for Garry, 2-0 for St. Boniface. In the second, how does this third period shake out? We're underway here as Fort Garry ends up winning the draw. Sent all the way down into the Riels zone here early on and turned over just inside the Twin zone as they work this puck up into the neutral zone as it'll be intercepted. It's a quick shot on it, scores! And this time for the Twins, well, it's one of their other top-end players, a huge ad at the deadline, and Ty McNaughton is able to put it away. I believe it was McNaughton. We'll get the official goal for you in just a moment. Who scored it? Here's another chance. Davison now scores! Well, in the first minute of this third period, the Twins go bang, or the Riels go bang bang. The Twins call a timeout. With Scott Wong's group reeling right now. And look, I mean, that Riels' forecheck started to really come to life last period. Made it troublesome for the Twins to break out cleanly. There were turnovers at near the point in that period. St. Boniface just couldn't capitalize on them. Well, they changed that in this period, this time around, within the first minute of it, scoring twice to go up by 3. Our third period goals, by the way, brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Be sure to check out their website at GordyTumblesonGoalies.ca for more details. The quick strike ability from the Riels coming to life here in this third period of action. Not even a minute gone in Southdale tonight. This puck gets sent out of play, and we will get a face-off just outside of the Twin zone near their bench. Aaron Nielsen picking up a point on that assist, or on that goal, getting the assist. Noah Keating, I believe, also getting in on the action. Here's another chance now. Sam Alsop sends that across, that shot wide of the net. I believe it was Matthew Trott who took it. No, that might be Nate Hines out there. And no, it is Trott who ends up laying the body on Gibson. This gets rimmed around and now played to the middle and broken out to Sam Alsop for the Riels as Alsop plays that down below Neufeld. First one on it. Played a short pass to Hedlund, who couldn't get that puck out cleanly. It was Voth who actually couldn't, as he now sends it D-to-D. Voth tried to receive a D-to-D pass back. Can't quite get it out of the zone again. This gets played deeper into the Twin zone onto the stick of Hedlund, whose pass ends up hitting the shin pad of a teammate in Neufeld. It's up that left side into the middle of the ice now at neutral ice. Both teams look to get possession of it. It's the Riels who finally do, who will look to catch the Twins off guard on the change. That shot from high up in the zone from number 17. And Dylan Vitelli turned aside by O'Sullivan. Twins just able to get it out of the zone, or are they, as the Riels go to attack on the forecheck quickly, but send it in deep once again. It's the Twins looking to start a breakout, and that pass misses number 17 for them. So it's rimmed around. Friesen out there was in the slot area, ended up not getting the puck. It's played back out into the neutral zone where Johnson tried playing a backhand pass over to Matthews, and this will be intercepted by Hyra. Over to Nielsen, gets taken out, high slot. This one ends up into the crease now of Michael O'Sullivan. We'll get a stoppage in play here. 17:06 remaining in the period. Of course, the story so far of this third being that the Riels extended their lead to 3 under a minute in to it. They're working below the net now, looking to get it up to the point. That's onto the stick of Noah Keating. His shot couldn't get through, though. Back at the point for him. Couldn't get it through again. As this exits the zone and sent all the way down low, as the Twins will have to be forced to break this puck out. Having some trouble along the boards. Heavy forecheck. It's been showcased here from the Riels in this matchup, as they still, well, decide to play it out of the zone now, bringing it out. Smith quickly sends a pass across to Keaton, who sends one up into the neutral zone by Hines, who touched it past the red line as it went in deep. No icing on the play. The Twins looking to survive the forecheck here. But St. Boniface Riel can't quite make out who it is as he loses his balance, falling to the ice. The Riels somehow with possession for it for a split second there afterwards, but Fort Garry able to get possession of it and play this deep below the goal line, where Haworth actually kind of misplays that. It gets to the high slot, trying to be put down low again, but couldn't get there. Sending the puck there was Medwick as it's Hines establishing the zone from the side shot. Ends up missing the target of the net. Before Garry tries going D-to-D to try to start a breakout. They do. More physical play from the Riels as they finish their check inside of the Twins zone. As Johnson now entering and drops it for Gorchinski, who gets it back to Johnson now. Loses his balance on his knees. Able to get a pass across. Now into the slot for Medwick. Has his shot blocked there by Ethan Alsip as the Riels able to get out of the zone again. Just past the red line. Connor Davis sends it in deep. Riels get fresh legs, a fresh change on ice. Puck is sent across onto the stick of number 14 in Livingstone now, who got it down low, but the Twins unable to do much with it afterwards. So the Riels able to rub him out. It's back into the neutral zone where Neufeld will pick it up. Shot from a far ways out. He turned aside there by Haworth. Easy save made for him. This puck ends up all the way down. Back into the Twins zone as number 24 in Caden Hedlund lets go for his skate. Sends that into the opposite corner where Smith will be first on it, but turns it over up the wall to Neufeld, whose backhand pass attempt across will be misplayed. Slobosian picks up now, driving to the net, and net comes off its bearings. Afterwards, a bit of pushing and shoving afterwards that maybe could turn into some scrapping. The ref's in there to settle things down, though. As the refs looking to put the net back on its bearings. It'll be for Garry and both the Riels getting fresh legs out onto the ice. Of course, game 2 of this series goes Sunday night at Century Arena. If this score holds, it'll be for Garry in that one, looking to tie up the series at 1 apiece, and for the Riels looking to extend their series lead to 2 and put Fort Garry in a stranglehold heading back at 2-0 heading back here to Southdale Arena on Tuesday. And as that shot from the point turned aside, deflected on the way pass by O'Sullivan. As Fort Garry not much to get it much further than below their red line. Riels send it in again on the forecheck, where we'll see some nifty moves now from down below from Caden Hedlund, who looked to dangle past number 21 in McNaughton, sorry, but could not. As a pass across D-to-D, the Twins go. Can't quite get it past that red line, though. Defended well by the Riels. O'Sullivan out to play it again. Ends up being too far for his teammate up the wall. It's turned over and possessed by the Riels. D-to-D over to Smith. His shot through, rebound there given up, but no one there to pick up that rebound for the Riels as Cianflone starts it the other way. Friesen's long shot on net turned aside by Haworth. As he makes his 15th save of the night, we'll get a stop and play with 12:52 remaining now in the third. This Friday night, of course, stay tuned for the end of the game, ladies and gentlemen. We will have our players of the game for both sides. And some tough choices for this game for the Riels at that. Kind of already know who I'll be picking for the Twins, but you'll have to stay tuned for our short little post-game show where we'll briefly recap this one here tonight. 12:30 remaining, still lots of time. This turned over, though, again by the Twins in their own end. Leave Connor Davis out there. Couldn't do much with that. As Fort Garry able to get it out now and send it all the way down into the Riels as Renville plays a pass across to Hyra. D-to-D. This will be turned over, but the pass just got outside the line. As Medwick with frustration throws that puck down. Has to be a frustrating night for Fort Garry. I mean, you start off with a 1-goal lead, but you've never really been able to get to what's made you so successful, which is getting established zone position and a really heavy forecheck that, I mean, from what I've heard, is changed the way the Twins have played completely. So them changing up their systems a bit and having buy-in from the entire team, huge reason why this team was able to make it back into the playoffs. In fact, about a month ago, they were on the outside looking in. But a strong end to the season. From the side of the net, almost putting it in there. Couldn't quite catch it, a Riels player. But now it's Cockle down that left side. Gets rubbed out by Bachnuck before sending it down low in the Riels zone into the area where Balshaw was. I believe that was number 8, Slobosian, who had that chance on the side of the net. He just goes off for a change. This gets stretched up into the neutral zone for Gorchinski, who's been so dangerous. Feeds a saucer pass across. That shot on net. This time around, it'll be Ashton Haworth. Well, once again, for the 16th time tonight to make a save, and this time that is covering things up once again. We tie McNaughton out to take the draw for the Riels, going up against Neufeld. This draw will be won by McNaughton at first, but nice job by Fort Garry to jump on that face-off afterwards and getting the shot almost through. Tipped into that corner closest to us on our broadcast angle. This gets rimmed along the half wall to the closest side to our broadcast angle in the Riels zone, still below their goal line, as this tries to be sent out by number 2 in Renville, but couldn't get it out initially. Finally carried out by Brzezinski, who turned it over with a pass in the neutral zone. It's Neufeld now trying to get through a bunch of Riels players. Finally does get to the corner as he tries playing that across. Voth picks it up, plays it into the slot with a pass, but Twins unable to register a shot as this puck exits the zone once again, but Johnson in his long shot will be blocked by a Riel. So it'll be picked up by Nate Hines for the Riels in the neutral zone. Now upon entry, has his move disrupted. That pass disrupted. To the point though, Smith can't get a clean shot through. Davis looking for his second of the game, but couldn't. Another shot from Davis, wide this time from the high slot, but able to keep it in as he gloves it down near the blue line. Fort Garry now looking to transition up the other way, but once again cannot maintain the puck cleanly into the neutral zone. St. Boniface just waiting there to poke pucks away, it seems, with more likely than not a defenseman, but it's played into the Riel zone now, onto the stick of Tremblay. Plays that to the net before getting rubbed out. Opposite side now, Keating battling along, was tied up with Sian flown along those boards for a moment before getting it across to a teammate. That's played into the feet of a Twins defenseman. Getting through now, that backhand deke turned aside by O'Sullivan. Couldn't quite catch who that was for the Riels. I believe it might have been Nate Hines, who was arguing that he was being interfered with, and very well did have a case. The Twins defenseman that was defending against him did everything in his power to not let him get by, and he still did. O'Sullivan was there to make a huge save. Giving a nod to our sponsor in Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Hey, maybe if you want to reach the type of level these guys have one day or beyond, check out GordyTumilsonGoalies.ca for more information, and boom, you have yourself a goalie coach right there. Get to work with the next Winnipeg Jets 1.0 WHA goaltender too, which is pretty cool. That shot from the pointer, or near it, just above the ringette line. Shot turned aside by Haworth for his 17th save of the evening. 38-18 are the shots in favor of St. Boniface. It'll be their top line out there of Medwick, Balshaw, and Gorchinski. Out to take the draw for St. Boniface is Alsip. Tied up are the two centermen in the face-off circle. Alsip gets loose, but can't quite get it out off the clearing attempt. Played into the opposite corner for Gorchinski, but couldn't get there. Closed off well by Riel. Now the Riels try getting it up, but can't. Pinching up in was a Twins player. That shot from the side of the net from Hedlund couldn't quite go. Balshaw works it back down low to Hedlund. To the side of the net, hitting the pad of Haworth and getting right back onto a Twins player's possession from the point. Now that shot turned aside. It'll be in the feet of Bachnecht, who will just look to skate this up before getting past the red line and sending it in deep. Him going off for a change, getting Smith out onto the ice. That pass into the middle for Balshaw misses just before the Riels blue line, as it'll be Smith looking to dangle in, which he does to maintain possession before sending it all the way down low. It picked off by Ty McNaughton. McNaughton now below the goal line. Still kind of on his feet as he gets knocked down a bit. That shot now turned aside from the high left face-off circle by number 30 in Michael O'Sullivan. Of course, I think no question he's earned all of the starts for all the playoff games he can go in, that is, unless, some unforeseen circumstance happens. Same with Ashton Haworth. So both of these goaltenders were brought in at deadline for their teams because they felt that, their organizations felt that these players could be difference makers, and they truly have been. Even though Fort Garry is down 4-1, O'Sullivan's made a lot of great saves in this game, and without him, honestly, this game probably would have been more than a 4-1 deficit at this point for the Twins. And I mean, you could say that the Twins could be up more, but they got robbed 3 times, it seemed, consecutively in that second period by Ashton Haworth. And kind of what he does is have that X-factor ability to steal games. Seen it before, and we're seeing him just make the saves that he needs to, and doing a bit more than that, getting acrobatic in this game to sprawl out to make him. As he's only allowed 1 goal with 19 shots faced. This puck sent into the Riel zone. Short chip picked up by Hira. Plays it up his side, that left side, to Brzezinski, whose pass to Renville hit him in the skates. Twins with possession of it in the neutral zone because of it. But Haworth out to play that to Smith, who plays that up the left wall to number 96 in Connor Davis, who's able to pick up the puck now in his skates and break in down that left side. Davis looking to burn around, but can't get past Livingstone. Puck knocked off and left for a teammate, though. D go. The Riels now. Keating tried dangling to the middle, but had that shut down. Nice play by him to get back, though. And getting the stick on that pass intended for Tremblay. So we'll get another stoppage, face-off, just outside of the Riel zone near their bench with 6:05 remaining. The draw will be won by Fort Garry to number 24 in Hedlund. From the side of the net, tried getting it there, but missed. Ends up at the opposite point, though, from where the Twins had entered, down below Capeless. Got it to an outlet man who got it up to Vitelli, who looked like he was anticipating the hit there at neutral ice. Capeless now trying to dangle in, still has it down low. Who ends up rimming the puck around up the boards. It couldn't quite get there to Keating. Sent across to Smith, goes D to Noah Keating, who looks to go for a skate. Shifting by about 4 Fort Garry Twins players before getting rubbed out along the boards, kept in by St. Boniface for the time being. Fort Garry looking to regroup in their own end, trying to evade the pressure of St. Boniface now. By having a bit of patience, they do get it out, but picked up by the Riels again in the neutral zone, who are once again just content with sending this one down deep to protect the lead. With 4:56 remaining, 39-19, the shots in favor of St. Boniface. Of course, by the way, if you're in the mood to watch some female hockey, and not just that, some playoff female hockey, we'll be traveling to Niverville tomorrow afternoon to broadcast Game 2 of the Eastman Selects and Westman Wildcats semifinal series in the Manitoba Female Hockey League. It's from behind the net. Riels trying to send that pass out in front, could not. High up in their zone, Friesen takes a hit in the neutral zone now from Connor Davis. Who Davis, of course, not the biggest player. Too many men as well coming up here. Johnson not too happy afterwards. Frustration taken out on the stick of a Fort Garry Twin player, or a St. Boniface Riels player. From the Fort Garry Twins defenseman. A too many men call, sending St. Boniface on the power play for the second time in this game. Hoping it's a lot better than the first one, where they had nothing going except for one shot. But yeah, before we get into this power play, by the way, brought to you by Goaltenders. But yeah, Game 2 tomorrow of that best-of-5 semifinal from Niverville. We'll also be in Hartney, Manitoba on Sunday to broadcast Game 3 of that series. Westman up 1-0, looking to put Eastman in a stranglehold with a win tomorrow, and Eastman looking to tie things up. Our coverage gets underway at 2:20 p.m. with our pregame show puck drops at 2:30 p.m. Down below in the zone, loose slot turned aside there by O'Sullivan. Gets behind him, loose puck. Not able to get into the net, though, as the Twins able to survive. This played into the neutral zone with the pass that hits the skate of Balshaw and turned over into the possession of Slobosian, who gets this down low. It's actually coincidentals here, so no one gets on the power play for the time being. Oh, almost losing his balance. Could have been bad. In terms of a rush chance the other way was Ethan Alsop. It's Ethan Johnson now, defenseman, bringing it in, dragging to that backhand side to protect before wheeling, shooting it on net from that right face-off circle. Turned aside, Gorchinski, his one-timer attempt from that left face-off circle. Way wide of the net. Puck into the low slot now. Alsop able to take it away and get it all the way out. As giving chase, number 21, Ty McNaughton on Garry. And fans wanted to call on that one on the Twins, but did not get it. Thought that there was a hold maybe of the stick on McNaughton. Ref selecting not to call it, however. As Brzezinski's short pass ends up causing some chaos near that blue line. Offside on the play. 2:57 remaining in regulation. In Game 1 of this Elite 8 series. Of course, just a fancy word for the quarterfinals. With only 8 teams making it out of the 10 in the league this season. Of course, Stonewall and River East were the teams not to make it, and Stonewall would have potentially had a chance to get in. Would have tied Transcona in points with a win. But it was River East who actually spoiled their party and beat them in a shootout, effectively eliminating Stonewall 3 days ago on Tuesday. Transcona, even though they lost, they were able to still get in. Yeah, what a moment for River East, though. As bad as their season went, they ended up with 8 wins. They finished second place in the league last year just to go back down. So to play spoiler, definitely a huge victory for them at the end of their season. But into the final 2 minutes and 30 seconds here. Puck still in the Fort Garry Twin zone along the boards. Furthest from us, it was Vitelli giving forecheck on a Twins player in Voth. who carries that out past the red line, dumps it in, goes off for a change. Winning with the puck now is Smith, who feeds a backhand pass just before the blue line to McNaughton. Got a pass to the net there for Hines, but that was too far for him. Delayed offside on the play, I believe, as it gives Fort Garry a bit more time to regroup and try to get something going here in the final 2 minutes of this game now, as it's up to CN Flown. Haven't seen much of him play in this period. Was really getting targeted with the physicality in that first and especially second period. Physicality, speaking of it, a Riels player gets rubbed out almost along the boards, but withstood the contact. It squirts out down below to Ethan Johnson, who makes a man fall, but ends up having it turned over. That shot from the high slot will be saved by O'Sullivan. As it's the Twins now, looking to get on the horse, it's Gilberto. Looking to dangle in, but Smith with a nice stick to shut him down. And down to the final minute of play here. With the Riels up 3, of course, both these teams will have a day of rest before getting back at it at 6:30 p.m. Central Time on Sunday night at Century Arena. G-Show Productions will be here on Tuesday night for Game 3 of this 3 versus 6 Series C quarterfinals matchup in the Elite 8, as that puck on net covered up by Michael O'Sullivan. As we get one more draw here, most likely, maybe a few more with how this game's gone on. But of course, stay tuned for our post-game show coming up. We'll have our players of the game. As this draw won by the Riels, shot blocked from the point there from Renville. Renville shot, that is, blocked by Friesen. Looked like some words were exchanged as well afterwards. So we'll, like I said, probably going to get a few more face-off draws with how this game has been going. This time it's won by the Fort Garry Twins, who will just get it into the neutral zone with 13 seconds left before sending it down deep. First one on it, number 2, Renville. As the St. Boniface Riels, I believe they started off their playoffs with a win last year. Doesn't matter. In the present, they do it once again, scoring 4 unanswered to take home the first game of this series and to lead things here with the Game 1 victory. As all the Riels, I think, waving a bit to the crowd as well, but most importantly, giving their goaltender in Ashton Walworth a hug. As they make their way, giving the salute up to the fans, you can't see it, also banging the glass for their supporters that are at ice level. They come off. The Fort Garry Twins looking to regroup after this one. And yeah, I mean, there were a few things, a few chances they had in this game that were really dangerous in that first period, and they capitalized on one of them. More than a few dangerous chances in that second period. But like I said, Ashton Hallworth, man, making those big saves he did. I said it would be a turning point, and it kind of did lead to what ended up being the biggest turning point, which was when St. Boniface got onto the board. Things really seemed like momentum truly did shift in their favor. They scored 2 goals to start off the third period as well within that, so that was definitely a huge turning point in terms of Fort Garry unable to come back in this one. And yeah, as the third seed, you get off to exactly the start you want to tonight. you're able to go through some adversity. You're able to control most of this game. You outshoot your opposition heavily, and you were able to see your depth come through. Scoring by committee. We are going to, of course, throw it to our players of the game now. Starting off for the Fort Garry Twins, I'm going to give it to number 7 in Dean Gorchinski. I mean, really could have given it to O'Sullivan. He made some big saves in this one, but Gorchinski was solid in his own end and was the most dangerous player with the puck all night long when he had it on his skate. Made something dangerous happen every single shift. Almost connected on an assist for a potential second goal that was, of course, robbed away by Haworth. And, of course, yeah, scoring a beautiful goal on the deke, on the backhand to open up the scoring. But, of course, his team couldn't finish it off, but Gorchinski being the standout player from the Twins in tonight's matchup. And as for the Fort Garry Twins, in terms of tonight's matchup, I'm going to give the player of the game, I think, even though he only had 1 point and his counterpart, Aaron Nielsen, had more, I'm going to give it to Nathan Brzezinski for player of the game here. Had 1 goal in this game. Or no, had an assist only in this game. Actually, yeah, only 1 assist. But he was creating all night long, was setting up a lot of good plays. And yeah, huge game for him tonight. Actually, we're going to go with him as an honorable mention, and our player of the game actually being Connor Davis. I mean, Connor Davis, his speed tonight was on full display. Ended up scoring the game-winning goal in this one, and we saw it. The hands, the ability to, turn over the puck into the Riels' possession, and all that good stuff. Connor Davis, the player of the game tonight for the St. Boniface Riels. Dean Gorchinski winning player of the game for the Fort Garry Twins. Brought to you by Goaltenders, your goalie's personal video review service. Thank you to them for being not only our post-game player of the game sponsor, our third period sponsor, but as well to Make-Cannon Fasteners and Tools and to Terraco for sponsoring this one. I want to thank all of you for tuning in and checking out this one tonight. We'll be back for Game 3 here on Tuesday night in the same arena at Southdale. As, who knows? Will we see the Riels up 2-0 heading into that one, or will the series be tied up come this Sunday? By the way, we're not going to get to the results from the rest of the league here tonight. Be sure to check out mmjhl.ca as they got all the scores posted there. But in this one tonight, it was the Fort Garry Twins up 1-0, but it was the Riels who looked like the much better team on night 1 of the mmjhl playoffs for the Elite 8 round. Riels win with 4 different goal scores, 4-1. Haworth with his first playoff win in a Riels jersey as well. Good night, everyone. Have a great rest of your night and weekend, and so long here. Thank you for choosing G Show Productions.